Brezza, the city-bred SUV.
On Maruti Suzuki Arena presents ESPNcricinfo Timeout, Sunrisers Hyderabad, Mumbai Indians. That's where our attention lies. First home game for Pat Cummins, the captain of SRH, and Hardikpandya of Mumbai Indians needs to get his team on the board after a heartbreaking loss against the Gujarat Titans. Tommoody, Mitchmcclenaghan, Irfan Pathan to talk about a very delicious matchup that we'll get to see more of in this format. We've not seen much of it because Klaasen's in great form. He's a destructive T20 batter. Jasprit Bumrah is one of the all-time greats, especially in this format. And together they've only bowled one ball. So Bumrah's only bowled one ball to Klaasen. Let's look at Klaasen's numbers of the death first up. You know what to expect from Bumrah, who just started with a bang in spite of the team losing against Titans. Strike rate of 200 in over 16 to 20 for Hyderabad since 2023, well ahead of anybody else. We're going to see this matchup for the first time, Tom Moody, Bumrah versus Klaasen. How do you see it going?
Well, it's no surprise that there hasn't been a lot of deliveries to Klaasen because Bumrah, just where the phases he bowls. What's going to intrigue me is how Hardikpandya manages Bumrah around the threat of Klaasen. So I'd be inclined in the planning to be thinking I need 2 overs up my sleeve to have for Klaasen. When he first comes in, not when he's going, that's nearly too late. When he first comes in, I need Bumrah to have overs under his belt so I can use him.
That's an interesting point.
They have that luxury, because they played 7 bowlers the other night. 7 people bowled, and they probably could have bowled 8. So there's an option there. Brevis can bowl as well. So they need another over, and they can save Bumrah for that. I think that's a good matchup. You're right.
Go back to the Malinga days.
Yeah.
You know how they used to use Malinga? Rohit Sharma used to use Malinga around 10th, 11th over when the middle over starts, and then keep 1 over specifically for a particular batter. So I think that can happen.
Yeah, but I was interested to see how Hardik uses his bowlers with himself. And he bowled, I think, a couple in the power play.
Yeah.
Bumrah bowled just the one. Bumrah did stay back, you're right, for Andre Russell as well. So do you see that happening in this game?
Look, I think in the last game, Hardikpandya bowling power play, 2 overs was a bit too much. 1 over was enough. And then I think this is where the momentum was taken towards the Gujarat Titans. So, and what I heard after that as well, that decision was taken by the team management. If the decision is taken by team management, you might see these things happening again.
Okay, that's interesting. Klaasen is such a good player against spin. That's what he sort of feasted on. How do you see him as a batter tackling somebody like Bumrah, Mitch?
Oh, look, he's still a good player. And at the start of his career, he was still very, very good at off seam. So I think he's probably a guy who knows that if he can get through the threat of Bumrah, that he'll be able to take down another player. We saw that the other night against KKR. He had a couple of overs which went for 16, 17 plus. So I think he's smart enough as a player now and mature enough to pick his battles. You'd just be trying to get in line and get off strike, wouldn't you, against Bumrah, just expecting that fast Yorker up first.
Absolutely brilliant return for Jasprit Bumrah in the IPL. An average of 18.3 now in the league since 2020 and an economy of just 7. You compare that with the rest of the Mumbai bowlers and you know why they missed him and how excited they were to have him back. He will be a serious force rest of the season. Quick word on the Sunrisers, leader of the attack. And yes, there is Pat Cummins, but Bhuvneshwar Kumar is an important bowler for them. Expensive at the death, Irfan. Is it a point of concern at all about, and would it affect how Pat Cummins should use Bhuvi, the way he's going at the death?
No, I don't think so. They don't have any other option apart from Nataraj and Bhuvneshwar Kumar. Pat Cummins doesn't bowl himself in the death. He's mainly a middle over bowler. He might bowl something in the power play, but not at the death as much. Maybe 1 over. So you need to have good informed Bhuvneshwar Kumar bowling at the death, and it might be 1-out game because first 2 overs were outstanding. The way he bowled, Maisel, he only gave 7 runs in 2 overs,
correct.
And then obviously when he came at the death, I always thought Bhuvi had good Yorker, and obviously with the time and the age factor, and because you played so much cricket, people gonna find out what you do, what you don't do. So what he needs to is maybe start bowling more wider if he doesn't feel that confidence. Just bowl the wide Yorkers as much as possible, and then bluff him with the slow one and all the other deliveries.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Changing your line helps. When you are struggling with that straight Yorker, give yourself a bit more of a margin. But we also need to identify that the conditions the other night in Kolkata were very, very hard as a death bowler. The ball looked soaking, saw diving around, the water was coming up. Those are the hardest conditions you're going to bowl in. And Hyderabad is not that. It's nice and dry. The ball's going to be dry. It's going to be consistent. It's going to be a little bit easier for Bhuvi to execute. So I wouldn't read too much into that first fixture.
Fair enough. Quick look at the teams to see if any changes are expected or advised by our panel. Tommoody, they went with srhvsmi, who had a nice little cameo ahead of Washington Sundar, who remains on the bench. But as we look at that team, happy with it. The absence of Travis Head and the balance between Janssen and Cummins. Same team for you in spite of the loss?
Yeah, for me, they've got the right balance, and I'd hate to see them change because that's been their flaw in the last couple of years. Is it's been nearly musical chairs when it comes to their playing 11. So be consistent, lest there's something that we don't see in the surface in Hyderabad that they need to make a change. Look at another spinner or look at another pace bowler, whatever the case may be. Keep it simple.
I know you're a big follower and fan of Umran Malik's journey.
Yeah.
Somehow he doesn't seem to make the team. Is it a matter of time, or do you think there's a case for him to play?
No, it's a matter of time. He will get his chance, and obviously because he has played a lot of domestic cricket this season, so this will help him to be in a better rhythm. He's definitely is in better rhythm as well. I've seen some of the videos and had some notes exchange, and I really think that once he gets the chance, he'll be able to make a mark. The other thing, what they need to keep in mind as well, the top three. Yeah, the top three, it seems in the last game felt like with a high quality bowling. They might get Travis Head in the future. Getting just one game is not enough, and I don't agree with that. Chopping and changing is never good for your team and your confidence in the players who are sitting out as well, because they think, okay, it might be our turn when we might miss out as well.
Sure.
But eventually, when you look at Abhishek Sharma, when you look at Mayank Agarwal as well, with the high quality fast bowling, it seemed like against Stark as well, it seemed like they were just getting late as well. So if Travis Head comes in the future, suddenly their team will start to look good. But by doing that, they might not be able to get in Hasranga, which I really want to have in. So they need to somehow sort out the top three.
Well, what they can do is consider bringing Markram to 3 and Pathi 4.
Exactly.
Because you've got them more of a mature
Overseas
player, international player that can give that stability at 3.
Okay, that's advice for the Sunrisers. Mumbai Indians went only with the 3 overseas in that opening game and then threw in Devil Brevis, who batted well, Mitch McClenaghan. But is that something now they need to just revisit, or can they leave that open? Would you also have another game for Luke Wood in spite of the slightly low impact that he had in the first game?
Yeah, look, I'll sign off on the Brevis thing. He's been a project for Mumbai for some time, and he must have had a good little build-up to this tournament to get the nod against the guys like Wahira and Nabi and Shepherd, who are hitters at the end. So he's going to, looks like he'll play again. He did a good job. He'll get better as this tournament goes on. Luke Wood is a genuine wicket taker with the new ball. And when you are aligning your strategy for Hardikpandya to take the first over, you lose a lot of Luke Wood. His specialty is swinging the ball back down the line. I think he's really effective in the power play, and he wasn't used in the middle as well. And a lot of Luke Wood's success in his career is coming back in the middle, using his bouncer, using his back of the hand slow ball, and being aggressive with his hard length. And he's a genuine wicket taker in the middle, and I think he can help Bumrah open up partnerships in the middle, but he wasn't used in that role the other night.
Any other suggestions for the Mumbai team? Should they go with Wadera and revisit their overseas?
I personally think they should keep it the same. Okay. Again, we've played one game.
It's a good team. It's a solid team. The only thing I felt that Nehal Vadera was actually starter of the last season.
He was.
And he's not. So what changed? Obviously, Naman, whatever he played, those 10 balls, he looked solid. He looked really good. But Nehal didn't do too bad as well last year.
Okay, well, early days, but the Mumbai Indians need to bounce back from that defeat. Thank you very much. Tom Moody, Mitch McClenaghan, Irfan Pathan. This was our preview to SRH versus Mumbai on Maruti Suzuki Arena presents ESPNcricinfo Timeout.
All new hot and techy Brezza, the city bred SUV.